Right, you join me at the entrance to the rather beautiful King's Lake, which I'll take you to see in a moment. First, I need a slight explanation. I said I'd see you at the salt mines. I didn't know, and I didn't find out till I got there, you're not allowed to film inside the salt mines, which is why there's no footage of it. But I would say it is absolutely mesmerisingly stunning. The visuals in there are like something you'll never see. There's some rather mental slides to go down between the floors, which was interesting to say the least, and you get to ride on a train down into the mine, and that doesn't even cover the sheer beauty of the whole thing. So it is definitely an experience. If you ever do come to Austria, please do go and visit those salt mines. Also, just before I go and show you the stuff around here at King's Lake, I would also like to thank Richard, who's been our guide on the bus. He's been awesome. And Austria for being just so goddamn beautiful. It's beyond anything I could have imagined it would be. And I'm not done. Eric is interrupting. And of course, today Germany as well. Germany wasn't on the list of places to go. This just happened to be in it. But Germany, I will definitely be coming to see your country as well at some point. Even if it takes you another 20 years to save up like it did to get to Austria. That said, let's go and have a look at the bits here around King's Lake, because there's some beautiful things to see before we go. I've only got about an hour, but I'll show you what I can. So, being I'm at a circle, doesn't matter if I go stage left or right, so just follow Slagger's exit stage left. Right, so the other thing I wanted to show you was this. Now, I don't know how well you can see it. Let me zoom in a minute. There we go. So that's actually a bobsleigh track. Now, as you can see, it's quite close to the river. And a couple of years back, they had an issue whereby there was a landslide and the bobsleigh track slid down and collapsed into the river, into King's Lake. So what they did was they were debating whether or not to fix it or not, and then they decided that because there's only about 20 bobsleigh tracks in the entire world, and 10 of the bobsleigh champions are actually from Austria, they should rebuild it. So they rebuilt that, and it reopened I think about 2-3 years back. But so that's something I didn't know you could do. You can actually come down here and do that, obviously. This is a slightly separate entrance. You can see there's like a separate road to go in. But if you fancy bobsleighing, go ahead. He was telling us, guide Richard, I mentioned before when I was saying thank you, that actually, in fact, the Australian bobsleigh team come down here to actually practice on the bobsleigh track that I've just shown you there, which is quite cool. So the only thing left to do, aside from obviously take you up to Painter's Corner, is to show you the one thing you haven't yet seen, King's Lake itself. So let's go do that first, and then we'll go up to Painter's Corner. Right, so one of the things I want to show you is this. It looks like a cable car, which it is. What it actually is there's actually a ski resort, zoom out a bit, on the top of that mountain. Because even this time of the year, there's still snow up there, which is unbelievable when you consider it's actually quite warm and muggy down here. But that's one of the interesting things. There's loads of like shops and stalls all the way along here. This is all just lining the lake. The lake's on the other side, and I will show you that. But it's just, there's so many pretty things out here. I mean, I come from, obviously being from Jersey, you're where I'm used to seeing a lot of green, but with the mountains and stuff as well, it takes green to a whole new level. Don't get me wrong, Jersey is beautiful. Austria and Germany though are very beautiful in their own way. I mean, the hills we're looking at now are actually the Alps that obviously start down in France and work their way up and across Europe to their other end in Switzerland. But even just like the buildings, look. Austria and Germany seem to be a very good example of how old and modern can exist at the same time and not kind of ruin each other if it's done right, it seems. Or at least that's my impression of it. Obviously you may disagree, and that's obviously, you're allowed to do that. Anyway, next stop is the actual King's Lake, and we're going to go and visit a part of the lake called Painter's Corner. Painter's Corner is well, it's named literally because it was popular with painters. It's because there's a good view straight down the lake, and on the lake from there you can see a chapel. So we're going to go have a look at that. I did want to tell you the chapel's name, but I forgot it. Do you remember? No, see, we've forgotten. I will check on the way down. There is an information board, thank God. I'm doing my best to read these German bits and pieces, and a lot of it I can do. See, look, it's another stunning building there, look. But also, just before we go, we're very familiar with tea and cake because obviously being part of Britain. But see, Germany and Austria, it's coffee and cake.
Yes, much better.
I don't mind either way as long as I get the cake. So makes no difference to me. So just ahead there you can see the obelisk, and you can see King's Lake, the German flag. Look at that, it's a hotel. And he's got Pikachu outside. These two docks here is where you can come and you can get a boat ride down the lake. Sometimes that's part of the tour that we're doing actually, but today it's not because there's not enough time. So anyway, I shall catch up with you at Painter's Corner. Right, and this is, as I was saying, the beautiful King's Lake. You'll see the other end of it when we go up to Painter's Corner. You can see how clear the water is. It's actually quite popular with the Germans just for swimming in. As you can see someone's doing there. And you can get a closer look there of the bobsleigh. It's quite windy actually, looks like there. And it goes all the way up to that yellow building there on the top of the hill, which we couldn't see from the other view. So there you go. Oh, I can't know who these people are who have these houses next to the lake, but they're very lucky. Anyway, up to Painting Corner. Right, whilst we're making our way down to Painter's Corner, I thought I'd show you these wooden huts. Now these are all privately owned. What they're for is they're for rowing boats. So if you do want a boat tour, but you don't really want to be driven along by someone else, or maybe you just don't want to be in a boat with other people that you don't know, or whatever, you can actually rent out a boat and you can row yourself down King's Lake. Although I've been told that the rowers, the Olympic rowers for Austria, come and train down here, so I'd imagine that's no mean feat. But let's go have a look at Painter's Corner then. And here we are. This is the very beautiful, as I told you, Painter's Corner. It's just absolutely stunning. And I don't know if I can achieve it. Give me a minute. probably should have clicked my mic on before I started filming, never mind. But if I zoom in slowly so I don't make anyone feel sick, see that building coming up in the distance? That's St Bartholomew's Chapel. And you can see the tourist boats there as well, look at that. Try and get a super steady shot for you. It's easier said than done. There you go. Right, I'll zoom back out. There we go. And that, people, that's a very beautiful and pretty picturesque, like I can show you behind me. Painter's Corner. And there's another pole walk path up here. You can continue the hike up there as well if you wanted to. But we're
Was habe ich dir zum Schreien gesagt? Ja.
right, so that's it from Austria and Germany. As far as you're concerned, I've still got a few more days. So from me here at Kings Lake, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably be back on the Eastern Railway. And auf Wiedersehen, and I'll see you guys soon.